What triggers you? What is it that sets you off? I want to dive into this today. I saw a video the other day that was someone who had gotten triggered over something so simple, and I just thought, wow, how often does this happen? So, we're going to get into that today and give you a couple of tips on what that might look like, how you can avoid that, and what you can do to prepare yourself for future instances. I am Angela W. Stillwell. I am CEO of Untapped Strengths, and I work with individuals to transform them into top 1% leaders, and I work with teams to transform them into powerhouses. All right, so let's get back to what I was witnessing the other day in this video. This person has admittedly worked very hard to be in the shape that they are in. Great. And yet they got triggered because someone said something about how lucky they were to have legs that were so healthy that allowed them to work out the way that they did. They went on this rant. They called it being spicy about someone saying that to them. And rather than taking it as a compliment and receiving it as that person intended it to be, whether it was a backhanded compliment or not, doesn't matter. That person intended it to be a compliment. Just receive the compliment. But no, instead, what they did was go on a rant about how frustrated they get with people who are constantly saying these types of things. And they went on this whole thing about that they get up before XYZ and they have children and they work really hard to have the body that they have, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What if they had have just said, thank you? What if they had stayed in their leadership and they just simply said, thank you? Thank you for the compliment. You know, it is something that I am incredibly grateful for having these legs that are strong enough that allow me to work out. And yeah, allow me to have the discipline that I have. Could have had a moment with that person to show what it looks like to be in your leadership, because that person is in their leadership, getting up early, doing the thing, going and working out, keeping their body in shape, et cetera. That is part of leadership. And they could have stayed in their leadership and been in their leadership and been an example of their leadership for this person who made this comment to them. And they missed their opportunity. In fact, they're ranting out over the interwebs, shall we say, because they got triggered. Listen, getting triggered is easy. Getting triggered is easy. Going into your emotions and letting your emotions drive you to do a post that is going after people who are making comments like that, that's easy. To be spicy, as they were saying, is easy. Staying in your leadership, that takes a different level. Being 100% responsible for being in your leadership 100% of the time, that takes effort. That takes the same kind of discipline that they're using to get up to go and do that workout every morning. See, we often allow ourselves to get triggered and then use that as a platform to stand on. What if instead we just took our platform that we already have and in this instance just said, you know what? I am so grateful that you recognize that. I am very grateful for having strong legs. I am grateful that I have worked with myself to get the discipline to make sure that I'm showing up for myself and my family and my friends and my clients, et cetera, on a regular basis to do the workout so that I can show up, so that I can have the energy, so that I can have the strength. You're right. I am lucky, and I've built that luck. I've built that luck from the ground up by having that discipline. Thank you for recognizing that. You guys see, this is just a part of leadership, right? It's being able to See when someone needs you to be in your leadership so that then maybe you can give them a little edge next time. So that then the next time, because the odds are the person who made that comment to them that triggered them is never going to see the video that they made about being spicy and telling people what they should say in instances rather than what they did say. This person had an opportunity to do a video that says, hey, you know what? This is what happened to me. This is what happened to me. And yes, I am grateful. Yes, I am XYZ. And then go into what leadership looks like in that scenario. Okay. You have that opportunity every day to, instead of being triggered, be in your leadership. Now, that takes work. It takes a lot of work. And the world needs more of it. You guys hear me constantly talking about the fact that leadership is sorely lacking in our society today. Around the globe. This is not a US thing. This is not a Europe thing. This is a worldwide issue. People are not stepping into their personal, their self leadership. They're not stepping into the responsibility. They're not stepping into being 100% responsible 100% of the time. And that's not an easy thing to do. I'm not even going to pretend that it's easy. And the more that you do it, the more work it is. It's not a path that people choose regularly because it's so much easier to point the finger and to blame. What if, though, each of us took the time to step a little more each and every day into our leadership so that we could better serve, so that we could then show others how to better serve, so that then those people could show others how to better serve? You guys, that's a ripple effect. It's like tossing a pebble into a pond. There's a ripple effect, right? What's the butterfly effect? A butterfly flaps its wings on one side of the world, and because of the effect of the flapping of the wings, there's the winds and all of the things. There's that whole thing that it impacts the whole world by flapping its wings. How do you get to impact the whole world? By being in your leadership. You get to do that by setting the example, by being the example, not just doing, but being, right? And I want that for you. I want that for me. I want that for you. I want that for everyone. Because guess what? When you step into your leadership like that, you own your power. You no longer have given someone else your power. Because every time you get triggered, you give your power away. You give it to the person who triggered you. Why do you want to do that? You say you want your power. You say that you want your power so that you can be on your soapbox and talk to people about what someone else said or could have said or should have said. When instead you could own your own power by being in your leadership, and you could speak to being in gratitude and setting an example. How fantastic might that world be? How fantastic might your world be when you take back your own power, when you take back your own leadership, when you take back your responsibility to be, do, and have all of the things and the goals and the dreams, right? What might your world look like if you do that? Here's the great thing. I'm actually working on this report for you. That's this mini book, this whatever you want to call it. And if it's something that you're interested in, it's on your leadership. There's 13 strategies in there to develop your leadership, to get to that next level, right? To own the ground that you stand on, to take back your power. If you would love to get a copy of this, just put a DM below and say that's me, or send us put it in the comments below, or send a DM and just say, I'd love to get that, and we will get you what you need in order to get this when it's completed. It's almost completed. It'll be completed like any day now, and I'm super excited about it. I hope that I hear from you to get your copy. You're going to want this. It's going to be something that you're going to be able to go back to over and over and over again. And you'll be able to keep leveling up, get to that next level of success in all the different areas of your life, whether it's relationships or your finances or your health or your career, whatever that looks like, right? Because it's all about your leadership. It's all about your personal leadership. It's all about leadership of self. When you remember to stand in that place of leadership of yourself, the impossible becomes possible. That's powerful. When you stand in the leadership of yourself, the impossible becomes possible. Doesn't make it easy, just makes it possible. Is that for you? That's something that you want? Do you want to make the impossible possible? Do you want to take your dreams and make them into reality? Do you want to make sure that you are achieving the goals that you set for yourself? Then say that's me, and we'll get this to you. I can't wait for you to get it, read it, and then you can ask all the questions and all the things about it. But you have to comment below, or you have to send a DM. Let me know that you want a copy of it. All right. If you want to follow me on all of the other things, you can go to the link tree on the screen below. But what I really want you to focus on today is getting a copy of this that we're putting together, 13 strategies on improving your leadership. All right. So I will see you next Wednesday for the weekly live show. And remember, owning your leadership is also owning your power. Owning your leadership, standing in your leadership, being in your own leadership is a preventative of anyone taking away your power. I don't care what your situation is. And if that's for you, then let me know and we'll make sure we get a copy to you. All right. All right. Have a great week, and I will see you live next Wednesday.